Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Planning has always been my way of working out problems and solving the day-to-day issues in my life. Join me as I experiment on how to best tackle projects, figure out how to stick with habit tracking, and celebrate the wins, both big and small. So grab a cup or a glass of whatevs and let's get on with the video. Hey planner friends. Okay, so I bought another planner. I know. Are you yelling at me? Is that me yelling at myself in my head? Probably. Listen, technically, I don't consider this to be another planner. I know you're like, Sylvia, there's so many planners under there. These are past planners, okay? I bought this little guy. This is the Hobonichi Weekly A6 Vertical. And it's teensy, okay? And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Sylvia, yeah, so is the Passport. Those are all teensy, but I've never used them. I know I haven't. I watch my videos to edit them. So here's the thing. I was like, I really miss having a weekly chart because habit tracking doesn't work for me in the traditional sense. My brain sees a habit tracker and it's like, run away, Sylvia, run. So let me explain. I have been using a bullet journal along with my traveler's notebook for the end of 2025. We are now at the end of November. Man, 2026 is just coming up on us. And I was watching all the planner videos and all the planner friends, and I was on a ledge, you guys, and I was like, I have to buy something. You know, when you have that itch and you're like, I just have to scratch it. And this was the cheapest, most reasonable way out. Okay, so hear me out. Am I talking to you or am I trying to convince myself? A little bit of both. Okay, so in here, I made what I call my weekly chart. And we have the week up at the top, and then I have these categories. I like this a little bit more than if I had just like a weekly tracker. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I am sorry. That I just checked off things. Why? Because let's say that this category here said reading. If I just came in here and checked it off, that doesn't give me any information. Like, I don't have any space to write down that I read 23 pages and what time I read, if that's important to me, if that's something I want to track, or like a little abbreviation space for what it was that I actually read. Maybe in the future that doesn't matter, but if I'm trying to see, okay, well, how long did it take me to read this book? All right. It's important for me to have that information. I'm pretty lazy sometimes about writing down when I started and when I finished, but I'm pretty good about checking off things. And if I have a little box, like putting something in there, if that makes sense. Maybe you are also the same. So that's what I wanted to do. Now let's get to, I'll take this off, what I've had in the past. So this is the Jibun Techo 2020. An oldie but a goodie planner. So this is the B6 slim size, the same as the one that I have for 2026 in size, but this is the Dayz. I mean, look at that. It's just Bible, you guys. I'm not saying I could murder someone if I put this in my bag and I hit them with it, but you know, it's getting there. It's getting there. Here's the difference between the weeks that also has tracking for the whole year and also monthlies for the whole year, and the months and the full-on days. It's just wild thornberries. And that's why I wish they wouldn't have gotten rid of the Avec version where you have two books, you know, the first 6 months in one and the last 6 months in the other, because this is gonna be, I don't know, I was getting panicked, you guys, and I was like, is this gonna work for me? I think it is. I just had a moment. You know, the FOMO just sneaks up on you and you can't sleep due to, you know, season changing stuff, and I don't know, just, I don't know. Maybe it was a fever dream. Anyway, so in here, back to the tracking, it looks like this, the traditional, and I can zoom in because you probably like, my eyes. All right. And so there's this tiny little square for each day, and there's actually 4 squares on the inside, but even I, and probably other people who write teeny tiny, cannot abbreviate how many pages I read and also like what it is I read. I mean, maybe I could put like 48 in there and then like T for the title of the book. I don't know. But so I just wanted something different, and that's when I started to create my habit tracker weekly chart situation. Well, here's the struggle, and the struggle is real. I meant to put just one I think I meant to put chart and it says chat. That's hilarious. Anyway. I had all of my critique partners written down here. I'm in 2 different groups. And then what ended up happening was I would find a nice pocket of time on a day and I would knock out like 3 of these at a time. So I wasn't working on their pages every single day. So this didn't work out for me. So when I remake this, it'll be like one category that says critique partners or CPs. And then I will just write down whose pages I worked on and how long it took me or whatever. Their actual notes for their pages I keep digitally so I can pull up during our meetings. So I don't really need that here. But as far as like, I don't look online and I need to make sure to have a place to check this off that I did it, it needs to be in my planner. So back in 2020, a younger version of Sylvia was starting to work on, I just need to figure out how to make this planner work for me. So if ever you fall off on verticals like this, I see a ton of people, especially with this cutesy little Hobonichi companion weekly, turn this into a sticker book. It's just like you open this and stickers are just like gonna attack you. It's wild. And that is just not who I am. Good on you if it's who you are, but I'm just not going to get that together. And I'm not going to get that together in here. So what I did was I started to do charts instead and break this down. This is so messy. Okay. So I was doing like color coding across the weekly like this. So this first category was labeled apps and movies. The next one was Instagram and YouTube. Then I had reading for me as well as Jade. And then project challenges, tasks here, and then meals and health down here at the very, very bottom. And that worked for me because it gave me a little box each day of the week to go ahead and write a few things down, whether it was the title of what we were watching or how many pages in what book we were reading. So that was what I started back in 2020, and I've really missed doing this. But I am lazy, you guys. Like, I was totally pissed when I drew this whole thing out. I don't know why I keep closing this. I mean, why do I keep closing this? Where's the one where I actually spell things normally? Okay, we'll do that so that if I close it again, it will stay open. But this, I mean, you only have to do it once a week, but it made me mad that I wasn't even using it. And the other struggle I had with this is I'm also in my traveler's notebook. So I had to have this open and look in my traveler's notebook. I've done things in the past where I've drawn this out or made kind of my own document of this and printed it out so that I could have the sheet of paper and I could fold it no matter what planner I hop in and out of. So that's something you can do as well. But I thought that this would be the answer because it's so cutesy. And let me zoom out just a smidgen. It also fits in this cute little pouch. It's just like a little kangaroo baby. So here's the kangaroo mommy, here's the little baby, and it just goes so cutesy in there and it fits. Now, I will tell you that this is slightly stretching this out, so make sure that you're aware of that and you're cool with it, because if you ever take this out, you're going to have to put something that is equal to or more than this size, or it's just going to fall out of the pouch, because this is definitely going to stretch and stay like that. But it is so cutesy, and it goes as a little companion notebook, and it doesn't feel like its own planner, because I tend to feel like at some point, if I cannot do, time blocking in here, which I think would be really cute to do too, I can go ahead and do my weekly chart in here like this, like I have in the past. And I've done stuff like I would just put CP, like my critique partners here, instead of giving them their own line, and then just writing it across and then cleaning for one. And then, I could even do meal planning for another. So always try to figure out a way to make your planner work for you if it stops working the way it's supposed to. These rules aren't real. Like, they're guidelines, but you can use them however you would like. And so I'm thinking about doing that in here because it means that I don't have to print out things, because I know who I am. And if I forget to print it out for the week, if you're doing double-sided, you can print for 2 weeks, then I'll probably just won't do it and I'll just blow it off. But this is already pre-printed. Again, I can carry it easily with this. I can put it off to the side here and have this open so I can look at both. I can do pre-planning in here where I do pre-plan out my week if I don't do the categories, because maybe this will work for me now. I have grown as a person, sort of. And I can go ahead and look at this, and this will reflect how I hope my week will look, and then the dailies will reflect how they actually are. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, but Sylvia, the dailies have this nifty little like time ladder in here. So what's with this? Okay, so first of all, I thought, yes, I could do this in here. And I could try the time blocking in here, which I would go back and forth between using the time blocking here and sometimes not using it at all. And what that looked like was, because we have these tick boxes off to the side here, I'd put my to-dos here. And then on this side, I'd put any little like notes, quotes of the day, sometimes here or here, a funny line of the day, and it would fill it up more like a to-do slash kind of snapshot of my day, if you will. And that would help trigger, oh yeah, I remember what happened that day. That was a good day. Or I was sick. Obviously, that's why it's blank. No worries. Now, there are many people who don't work on the weekends, who have taken the weekend pages. I'm trying to find a spread where they're on the same. Okay, now I can find one. Who cares? So like here, I've seen people take this and break it down into 7 so that they can make a whole weekly on the Saturday and on the Sunday as well. They'll take like notes, or they'll do the review on a Sunday of how their week went, because they don't use those weekend pages. So again, don't feel like you have to use it because it's dated and you have to use it the way they tell you to. No, we don't. So the way it's looked like for the weekly is like they'll have the 7 boxes of the days here, and the notes over here, or they'll do it all the way across. And this can be for the week here, or it can be for the next week coming up. It doesn't, matter. It's whatever works best for you. So those are things I have done when I've missed days or I've been sick, or I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really need to do writing on the weeklies. Like, let's say this is going to be my writing planner. I can just go ahead and fill out Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday can just be my review or reflection on how my writing went and what my plan is for the next week. Now, just to give you an idea of how crazy this is a weekly that has the tracking in the front for a full year, as I mentioned, as I showed you here. And then it has the months for the full year. I think they give you 1 month before the new year and then 3 after the new year. And then the full year of the weeklies like this. I think there are a few pages in the front and a few in the back, but they're not that many, not that serious. So this is what the weekly looks like in comparison to what I'm going to be carrying around. And I just think that that's wild. I almost bought this, you guys, on a fever dream in the middle, like it was 3, 4 in the morning. I shouldn't say in the middle of I don't know. It was in the morning, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And there were other people on the interweb who were convincing me that this was a good idea, including myself, because I watched a couple of my videos. I was like, what did I think about this back then? And I was like, this looks great. Why did I quit it? That was pretty funny. So then I had to watch those videos to remind myself. So this is what I'm dealing with. I don't think that this is that serious. It cost me, I think, $16. So I feel like even if I used it only for a little while, I'd get my money's worth out of it. I can carry it again, like with this. If I leave this, I still have this to use with a bullet journal or something else. So I love that it's not like attached at the hip, because it's tiny. It doesn't matter. Like I could go into A6 size. I could probably even carry this with a pocket notebook and I'd feel okay about it. Whereas if I had bought one of these and these, I mean, I know I wouldn't have carried them together, but I would have tried. Your girl would have tried. Leaving this open at my desk, maybe it would have gotten used, but I've tried that for this year with some other planners, and I just kind of gave up on them. So this was a lot more monies. Because this is B6 Slim, it's a different price, but not that much different from A5 Slim. I can't remember. I think it's around anywhere from like $37 to $39 for this. And you can use the companion notebooks that come with it, which are great, that are blank. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, well, Sylvia, why didn't you just draw it out in this little idea notebook? Because you can fit these in the front and the back of the days to make it even more thicker. Why not? Why didn't you just do that? And I thought about it, but again, I am lazy, and I think you also feel like, I'd rather just deal with like paying the $16 and taking the loss and having all of this printed out than, not wanting to draw it out, and being disappointed when you do because you don't use it the right way. Like it's already here and I'm like, oh, if this sucks, I have a whole nother week. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm going with, you guys, and this is how I'm going to try to make it work for myself. I've already had a conversation with myself and said, listen, if the daily tracking does not work and pre-planning in here to see what your week will look like, does not work, you can always use this as, you know, a habit tracking chart where you break this into categories and you just fill it out as you go. So I have a backup plan. And I think that's important because I feel like I'm not the only person to have fever dreams. So I hope that if you're watching this, and this doesn't necessarily completely apply to you, but you do end up getting FOMO and buying a planner and you're like, what the hell do I do with this now? Don't forget that these rules are not real, that we can make it work for us and we can change it into something else that it probably was never meant to be, and that's okay. Also, I wanted to mention that, let me zoom out just a little bit here. If this is too tiny for you, because it is small, especially for those who are like, oh, it's hard for me to see, because my mom's one of those people. I always get her those inexpensive planners because she's not interested in having something really expensive that say, what are they called? See Big from Walmart. She really appreciates them. This might not be for you because of the tiny font and the tiny, you know, little grid, but, or also because it's Tomoe River paper, because that for, I'm telling you guys, I almost bought an A6 Hobonichi. I know. And then I thought about the A5, even though it didn't work for me just a couple of years ago. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know. So it's just planner season and it gets to everyone. I got the itch and it was crazy. So here's the thing. So here are two more options that I absolutely love and highly recommend. If you're not interested in the Tomoe River paper, this is the Mio paper. Very clean, very lovely, has all of the time tracking down the line. And of course, if you need companion notebooks where you just want a diary or you want to draw out something else, you certainly can. It has the monthly, it has the tracker in it. This is a really great folio situation that I do love and I have carried with me. And it's still a lot less than this, even if you have a notebook in the front and in the back. As you can see there, this is wild, you guys. I was getting a little nervous. I think it's going to be okay though. Sylvia, you don't have to carry it with you. Sometimes I do or I won't use it. I know. But I was willing to give it a go because it was new. Anyway, the other one is the Nolte. And this is the, oh geez, I can't remember. Does it say in the front? Please say in the front. If not, I'll flash it in the screen. I ripped up stuff. Oh, I cut this out. I remember to put it in something else. I can't remember the number of this, but I will flash it on the screen. And if I forget, please remind me nicely down below. But this is lovely. It's such a beautiful and clean design. I love it so much. The size just didn't work for me anymore. And then, like always, I stopped using the planner. But it was just so nice. And these are stickers, the rub-on ones that are so beautiful in here. And there are plenty of pages in the back here, even though it doesn't come with a companion notebook. So I think all of this is just extra pages here. Here is how the weekly looks. Lovely, clean, beautiful design. Again, it was just a little too large for me to carry around, but this is the same thing, same situation where you can go ahead, like this is already cut for you, so you can put a category here, here, and then you can break this in half and have two or whatever it is with notes on the side if the time blocking situation doesn't work for you. So this one really starts at, I think, like 6:30, but has all the space up here to start earlier because my day, a lot of times, especially Monday through Thursday, starts around 5 a.m. Let me see what it is in here. So this is 6, but there are 3 boxes ahead, so you can have extra space. I know some people that start their day at 4:30. My partner does because he takes a shower and he has to get to work early. And then in here, we have what? Well, technically, it starts at 0, which is kind of awesome. And then you can just pick and choose. So that's really nice. I just love the biz, you guys. I'm grateful I didn't get it. I think it would have been a fail. Maybe next year, as I continue to hopefully grow, I can go back to that. But right now, I think it would have been the wrong executive decision. This is small enough, inexpensive enough that I feel like it was worth giving it a go. And again, I don't feel like I bought another planner. It's just a companion, this cute little pouch in here, and we're gonna be okay. So how are you guys doing? Like, are you watching the videos? I know that there are some people out there, big planner friends of mine, that they mute people around this time. They just can't handle it. Like, I love you. I'll watch your videos later when I can no longer get that planner because it's sold out, but I have to mute you. So if that's something you have to do even with me sometimes, I understand. Come back when you can. For right now, I hope this was helpful to you to understand how to make any planner work for you, and that includes rings or whatever you're in. Sorry, my phone rang. I almost made it all the way through a video, you guys. What was I saying? Anyway, this is the planning system that I'm going to be doing. No, I didn't buy 150 other planners, and look at how thin this is in comparison, you guys, to this week. I just have to think about it all of the time. I almost got this, and I would have added a notebook to the front and the back. I would have. This is just, I think, the right decision. Is this something you guys would try? Have you tried it in the past? Is it too tiny? I don't really know. We'll see how long I last in here, and I'm excited to plan in here. When do I get to come in here? I think it's the 1st September. Okay, so because of how the week falls, you get 3 days of December and then the first 4 days of January. So I do have to wait pretty much till January, and that's totally fine. Wish I could move in here sooner. I did, you guys, hold on. I took a piece of square paper. It's fairly thin, so it probably doesn't look like it's squared. And I cut it down to size, and I made like a little tab here, just so that I could stick it in here and find it easily. But I thought, oh, I could totally copy this because it's so thin. I can see through and carry this around and see how I like this size. And then I got really nervous. I was like, well, if I do it for another month and a couple of weeks, then I might get bored of it before it's time to actually use it. Is that fair? I'm telling you, I got to think of all the things and how to trick my brain, because my brain is like not always on my side, people. Do you feel that way also? It's probably just me. It's never just me, I don't think. I hope it's not just me. And that is everything. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for watching and putting up with my shenanigans. I will talk to you soon. Bye.